Once again, we back here, Bounce TV's, your host, Tracy Williams, with another inspiration, some news for you to use in your life. Man, we got another special guest in the building. Now, I kind of take this kind of personal with this guest because I met him way back in 2016. And he remember me because I don't know, I had my loud suit on. But I remember him coming in the pre-draft hotel, the International Hotel, and him and Coach Smith. And I think Coach Smith was there. And I looked up and I said, yo, there ain't nobody but Thon Maker. Thon, man, welcome back, man. Yo, thank you for taking some time, man. Coming here and share with just me and all our kids all over that we work with at Bounce, man. You know, one of the main things I always tell them is that when you come from here, you know, and you make it to the top, always send the elevator right back down to get the next generation. And man, just being around you, especially this time, man, just listening to you talk and stuff, I see, I hear it, that in your heart, man, that you one of those guys that are not only just gonna be successful, but you're gonna be that next step, which is significant. So I appreciate you that from the bottom of my heart, man. I appreciate you doing that. I watch you with your boys that you came up with, man, and really, you know, that's what it's all about. Now, Thon, and we know him, number 10 pick overall. He got a chance to walk across that stage, get that baseball cap, shake that commissioner's hand. I'm telling you, I never did get a chance to do that like you did, man. Just a top pick. All of that hard work, determination, guidance, and everything, all culminating into that one moment. I heard you say it happened so fast, but it did somewhere in there. Did you think about the work and everything it took, or did you think about them days when you didn't think you were gonna get there?
Man.
Yeah, what was that like?
Man, the whole, after I heard my name, like it just faded, like the name, like the amount of pressure that I had on my shoulders, the work, the waking up at 5 a.m. Man, those were just like, finally, like you can finally check off why you did that.
Yeah.
Why I woke up at 5 a.m. You know, why I went to practice when I didn't feel like it and stuff like that. So after I heard my name, it was just like a relief. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was like a relief. And then a new goal set in mentally. You start like, okay, now I'm here, now what? What do I do next? Okay, let's set new goals. Let's say I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta become this, I gotta become that. So like the checklist never stops. It's just, you just reach stages in life. And I think that was like one of those really big moments where it's just like, yeah,
man,
I'm here.
You know, and just like so many millions of people around the world, I watched your development. I watched you when you first came on the scene, and how everybody all over in the basketball world and just the world, period, watch you develop.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you is, early on in your process, because you went straight from high school to the NBA. Man, that's right there. That's an elite status right there. There ain't gonna be many guys that could do that, pull that off. How do you deal with staying focused, staying locked in? Because early on, people started projecting you. Because I was hearing it, you know, they say, hey, this is the next. This is the guy that's gonna be the next. How do you not become complacent? Just, you know, turn into a fat cat, and you know they don't get no mice. And I mean, how was you able to stay? Was it something you or a combination of the people you had around you? What was that?
I think it was both. Coach Smith, you know, as you mentioned, he was big in playing that role of trying to just limit as much interaction with the media as possible. So that's the first thing. So he kind of handled that whenever, you know, media outlets were doing interviews. You know, he did that. And then the other part was just me saying like, I can have this later instead of now. Like, instead of going to the movie theaters with my friends, I go to the gym. Instead of you know, waking up on time for school, I wake up early, get my workout in before school. So that's why, like, you know, I mentioned those 5 a.m.s. It was like we getting up, me and Coach Smith just getting up every single morning, getting there, get the work in, go to school. Instead of having a regular lunch like that, like everybody else, I'm in the weight room, you know, because our strength coach at the school was our assistant coach, with the team.
Yeah.
So it worked out perfectly, and we would lift during lunch, after school, get that work in. Instead of going home, we'd go straight to the gym, and then have team practice, and then play after team practice. We'd have our own games after the team is gone, basically. Me and my little brother would play. So I had a combination of, me mentally just locking in, knowing who I am, where I want to go, and how I'm getting there.
Right.
So those three things are like, I still live by those three things to this day. Knowing who I am, I know who I am already. I know where I want to go. I know how to get there. So when I had that, and then I had the support of Coach Smith, my family, my brothers, and stuff like that, it just worked out to a point where it's just automatic. My little brother came into the same program to train with Coach Smith, and he understood I'm gonna follow him. He'll follow me. So basically, it was just like a foundation laid out, and obviously you have bad days, good days, and bad days, and you have missteps here and there. But if you know exactly your path, how to get there, you can always correct it and get by getting back to that same, work line, work ethic, same routine that you've always had. You can always get back to where you want to go again.
And just listening to you talk, man, I've been so impressed again, the mental tools that you had. And I was kind of just thinking, because I like that when I was at his age, and I would have to say no. And and it's such a blessing that you had those types of people around you that instill that in you.
Yeah.
But again, like always, I don't care what we do, who we are, where we are, we still got those moments, like you said, the missteps and different things.
Yeah.
When you do have those missteps and stuff, how do you come back from it? I mean, what's the mental tools in your box that you go to get back in line?
Man, I think it's the work will come first, and the people to talk to will come second for me, because the work kind of clears my mind, right? That's the first thing. Like, you get in there, like, it blocks out the noise. When I'm on the court and just like music, I have my music on. It's just like there's no better feeling. You're just in your own world. You're more creative than ever because you're just like free. You're mentally free. So I think that's the first thing I would do is like even 2018, 2019 season. That was the year I lost my grandma, and like it was during the playoffs. It was tough, man. But I'll go in the gym, put some music on, and just like vibe out to myself, just like create, re-dream, imagine, re-narrate. Like as a kid, I used to go to the gym and just narrate. As a kid, you just say 3, 2, 1.
Make believe. The crowd goes by.
It's crazy. I used to write that down like in a diary,
Okay.
like commentated, like writing, here's Maker from the top of the key. He does this and does this and that. So like stuff like that, like were always like a reset button for me.
Yeah.
Getting in the gym is a reset button. And then, talking to my little brother, talking to Coach Smith, those are like reset buttons for me to kind of like bring me back to that path again. And putting in that work, there's nothing like it. Like, it gets to a point where the punishments we were talking about, the monkeys, the hills, the running, all that, it gets to a point where they become like fun to do.
Yeah.
And other people are looking at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
No, this is who I am now.
Yeah,
It's like, you did them as punishments before,
Yeah.
but you grow into them and you really enjoy them. You're like, I like the way it makes me feel, like the way my body is shaped after. I'm in shape, I'm stronger. So it's like, I started doing them for fun. And now, like, I'm able to do them even in the NBA. People look at me like, why is he working that hard? Why is he doing this? He shouldn't be doing that. But it's like, those are reset buttons for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, when you first came in, you down at Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And you with Giannis. I think I heard you say your first year was like his third year coming in.
Yeah.
One of the things that people talk about Giannis and his work ethic and stuff.
Yeah.
What I want to ask you about basically, we gather our mentors as we grow. I always tell people you got two different families. You got the biological family, and then you got your logical family. Biological, that's the roll of the dice. Yeah. We don't get to choose that. You hope you get the right ones. But our logical family are those people that we make the decision to add these people to ourselves. You know, my dad used to always say, if I'm the smartest guy in the room, get out of that room. You know, get around some people who are more passionate about what you're trying to do, who are smarter than what you do. Man, you sound like one of them guys. You sound like my dad when I be hearing you talking like that. So who are some of the people, I know Coach Smith, that you have collected in your logical family over your basketball career? People who have sold into you, invested in you, given you, like you said, the knowledge, the training, the mental behind it. Is it some of our, let's give them their blessings and flowers now. Some of those people who did that for you.
Yeah, I would say, like you said, Coach Smith, he's one of them. Knowing him taught me the game of basketball from the beginning, still teaching me to this day. My agent, Mike George, he's another guy. I met him when I first went to Canada in 2012, 2013, around that time of the year. And met him from there. I didn't know he was an agent at the time. And then later on, after when I got drafted, found out he was an agent. He was in my agency when I was with Jeff Schwartz, and he was in my agency. So I was like, oh, I didn't know he was an agent. And Ed was laughing at me like, yeah. So Mike George is one of them. You know, family, you know, it's another. The reason I say family is because we're so close as a unit. You know, my sisters, my brothers, everybody, we just check in on each other. Like, my little brother, you know, plays professional soccer with Kid, and like, I would call him and tell him to get on Warzone, the video game. I don't like playing video games because I'm mostly in the gym, right? But when COVID first hit, I told him get on the game. I bought the game, bought myself an Xbox, and learned how to play. And we started playing because I wanted to babysit him. I didn't want him to be out in the street. Like everybody over here in Australia, like I started to hear rumors, started to hear kids dying from stabbing and stuff like that. So I was like, get on the game, let's play. That way I can keep an eye on him when I'm, you know, across the country, across the world and stuff like that. So family is another one. Coach Kim Gergerich, and he's one of the guys I met when I first got drafted. Guru just loves the game. Never leave the gym. He'll die in the gym. I'm telling you, like this guy, I've never seen anybody just so much invested everything into the game like that with his whole body. So, you know, he's one of those guys. You know, I reach out to whenever and just, you know, he's always like telling me, what are you doing to get better? Where are you at now? You know, I'm gonna talk to this guy to make sure you're good. Everything. He's always checking in on me. You know, cares too much. You know? So he's another guy. And then you have other guys that are more on the outside circle, kind of like that as well, that are in, you know, in the vicinity. And, you know, to name a few, those are just the numbers I would name, and then my friends, obviously.
Definitely. Because I mean, I always tell people, a self-made man is a man probably didn't make much, but a well-surrounded man, a man that's got wise counsel and people around him. And like you said, man, just checking in on you. I don't want nothing. I just want to check on you, man, and just know you good. You good. I know you mentioned COVID. I was going to ask you, how was that? You know, as far as your basketball and stuff. I know that had to have been a huge challenge. And everything. What were some of the things that ways you found to use that time to be productive?
Man, COVID was one of the reasons I was out of the league, by the way. It was like, COVID happened and rosters became limited. Teams started to pick these guys. Even if you had a contract, but it was non-guaranteed, you could have stayed in the league. But teams had to like, get rid of this guy, get rid of that guy, because we had to save money and this and that. So COVID was really rough, but probably one of the most times I put in the hardest work of my life, like during COVID. So I bought a hoop, put it outside, we were playing in the backyard, and me and my brothers and cousins, we just like work out in the backyard, and we made a 3-point line, and just started working out there. There's a weight room there. We rented an Airbnb, and this is where we put the basketball court, and just worked out for like 3 months straight. There was a road that was like, that had like lots of hills, and it just kept on going in California, right? And it kept on going like this. So we put a mark, and it became a 2.5 mile, mark, right?
Right.
And we ran that every single day just to stay in shape, right? And it was like, it was crazy, man. Sometimes we'll run it with a vest on. It was like a 22-pound vest.
Yeah.
And just to stay in shape. And then we'll go to the gym. I had a friend of his name is Matt with Ethica, the underwear brand.
Yeah.
So he owned a little gym in Lake Forest in Cali. We used to drive 45 minutes to get there, and it's like a half court. And we would do our workout there. So we'll go when nobody else was there.
Right.
We'll go so the first session will start from 7 to 9. When that's done, we'll go home, get something to eat, come back, go from 1 to 3 a.m. When that's done, we'll go home, get something to eat, come back again when there's nobody else there to get a lift in.
Yeah.
And then from 1 to 3 p.m., we'll do a lift at home, and then do the run right after that, the 2.5 mile run. And it was just nonstop for 3 months straight. This was our schedule, and it just became who we are. MK, my little cousin, had just committed to Howard.
Yeah.
So he wasn't getting any sleep. He was doing his schoolwork online as well.
Yeah.
So it was just like this commitment we made to ourselves, just to, not give in to COVID, not to.
Wow.
We could have sat around and just played video games. We could have sat around and just ate and waited till COVID was over.
Right.
But instead, we kept on putting that work in.
Yeah. Now, I love that you said this commitment that you made between each other, yourself.
Yeah.
Could you talk just a little bit more about that, because that's one of the big things.
Yeah.
People making contracts with themselves, that's so important. So yeah, could you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, having a contract with yourself it comes in different ways. There's ways you can do where it's physical, where you're saying, I want to be in this shape at all times. And that means no matter what I'm going through, losing a family member to COVID, which we've all done during COVID, and you're still not giving up to say, that was hard, I'm gonna just rest now because I can't do anymore. No, you're able to say, I'm gonna find fuel, I'm gonna use that as fuel, I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna stay in the gym, I'm gonna stay locked in. That's another way to do it. You can do it mentally, where if something is so hard on you that you mentally start to feel weak, you gotta remember you signed a contract with yourself. Keep going, put that work in. You gotta have that in the back of your mind. It's just like, it can't all be words, it can't all be just telling yourself, I signed a contract, boom, now the job is done. No, it has to be put into action. You have to say like, okay, I signed a contract, but I gotta see progress now. I gotta sign a new contract later on that's even better than that. So that's what you gotta have mentally. You just gotta really put that work in, man. Like, I always bring it back to work, and that's all I've known. Like, my body has gotten used to that work to the point where it's just like, if I don't put that work in, I feel bad. If I take one day off, I feel really bad the next day when I come back. So it's like, my coach Smith used to force me to take days off.
Yeah.
I hated taking days off. But he would be like, nah, your body needs to recover, you need to do this. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let you be the police of that, but for me, I'm just staying here.
Let him handle that.
Yeah.
I mean, now, for those of you that already know that Thon just led the Boomers in the FIBA Asia Basketball Championships to the gold medal, was the MVP of it. And if you just thought that he just showed up and didn't have to put any work in, or just smiled a lot and achieve these high goals and get all of these accolades, now you just heard it straight from him. What that took, all of the work and different things that takes to get there. And me and you want to close up and take too much of your time, but I remember when you first came in, I said, Kevin Garnett, who is like one of my most favorite players, with the heart, the passion, the talent, the skill. He said, you are future MVP. Now, it's not a lot of basketball players that can make a statement like that would just stick with me for all of this time and stuff. And he said that about you. Now, I want to say this first. One, talking with you and spending this time with you, I understand why he said that. I do. I really do understand why he said that. I would never bet against you about, if you want to put your mind to doing something. And I think that's what what Ticket was talking about. When you heard that he said that about you, did that create a lot of pressure on you, or what was your response to that?
Nah, my response was like, obviously, man, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a guy that I've been looking up to. Like, just watching him, he's one of the reasons I actually started playing basketball, because 2008 playoffs, I wasn't really playing basketball, I was playing soccer. Yeah. And when I watched him, just the way he approached it, the energy, like I got motivated just by watching the game. And from then on, it's just like, man, I gotta get here, I gotta get to the NBA. Yeah. And so, but just meeting him in person, just seeing him, first day I met him, walked into the gym, I didn't know he was gonna be there, but walked into the practice facility, and he's in the weight room lifting. I walked in, I opened the bag door, walked in, I seen him lifting. I was like, is it really him? I was like, yeah. So I went over and said, what up? And he's just like, nice to meet you, man. What up, dog? Nice to meet you, man. Heard a lot about you. I can't wait to get this work in. I'm like, we gonna work? so man, go to the locker room, change. And we started talking, and then JK came in there, Sean Sweeney, one of the assistant coaches, was like, we brought KG here to come to work with you and Giannis, just to get you acclimated to the league, basically kind of like give you some of the knowledge that he had, and man, I'll never forget those days, those practice days. And when he said that, it was just like, I'll believe it, but then when he confirms it like that, you just like, man, there's Coach Smith, there's myself, there's Coach Smith, there's my family. Those are people you don't want to let down, right?
That's right.
Then you got these guys, KG and those guys.
Yeah.
The guys that got drafted out of high school, and the pressure I put on myself was to make sure I perform well for the guys that made it out of high school.
That's right.
That's the first thing. Like when I first got drafted, I remember Coach Smith saying, it's not easy being drafted out of high school. So you got to be happy about that. But at the same time, just know only a handful of guys got drafted out of high school. So in the back of my mind, I'm always like, it wasn't good enough. In the back of my mind, I always say nah, I had a workout with this team in the pre-draft workout, but I didn't think it was good enough. My agent would get a call, man, he was amazing. Yeah. He had a great workout with us. Yeah. And then he would call me pissed off, like, why'd you scare me like that? So I'm like, man, so in my mind, I'm always like, it wasn't good enough. Whenever I achieved something, I said, I could have done it better. I could have done this. He said I had the MVP of the Asia Cup. I could have got the tournament MVP. Yeah. So in my mind, it's like, I didn't really celebrate that well, because I wanted the ultimate one. I wanted this one. So it's like, when KG said that as well, I was just like, man, like it means a lot, but I gotta get to that all-star level first. Yeah. I gotta get those most improved. So we started breaking it down, and it was like, now we lowered our goals. It's like, listen, not lowered our goals, but the ultimate goal is still there, but lowered our approach in terms of how we're gonna get back to that, right? Yeah. And me and Coach Smith said, okay, if I play a year here in this city or this country, that's cool, we'll do that. We'll play a year here, play another year here. You come in back to the NBA, okay, you play here, you play here. Then you get most improved, okay, you did that. Then you get also, okay, you did that. You just keep going like just step. So we're building small, like micro goals. And eventually we're gonna get to the big goal.
That's right.
I believe it.
I believe it too.
So when KG said that, like it's a lot. Like now I'm putting the pressure on myself. Yeah. Like even more, like saying like I can't let him down. Yeah. I can't let the people that got drafted out of high school. I can't let them down. Yeah. The Cobes of the world who won 5. Yeah. Those guys, I can't let them down. So like in the back of my mind, I'm healthy. I have no excuses now. So I'm back to that mindset. So. Wow,
man. Look, like they say, your health is your real wealth.
Oh yeah.
Listen, man, you got a plan. Like they say, never doubt a man with a plan. I think your performance that you just had, not only is gonna keep moving the Boomers. Yeah. I already told them. I said, look, Australia gonna win gold here. I said, I think they got right on the precipice of it. Yeah. I've been telling my U.S. folks back there. I said, yeah, Australia coming for you. Yeah. They coming for that neck. Yeah. And so I think you guys are making those great strides, but you as an individual getting to the NBA back again, doing your thing. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead right now for all, because they say the internet is forever. I'm going ahead and say it right now. I'm gonna be there when he does the MVP speech, and I'm gonna be sitting there and I'm gonna scream in the back so he knows that I'm in the house. What they gonna say now? What they gonna say now? Yeah, what are they gonna say now? I would be like, cause I'm loud like that. But man, like I said, I just appreciate you, man. It was just, I think it was God, us having this meeting. I learned about it maybe 2 days ago, and to get that, and I said, okay, God, I got this. I know that's you. Last thing, man, I want you to say, a lot of our kids, they want to do what you're doing, man. Like what you're doing right now. Yeah. They want to do the things that you've done, and where you're going at. I want you to have the last word on it, and I want you to look at the camera, look at them, and just give them something that they can just say, hey, I can build something on that. That's the foundation, that's the cornerstone for what I was doing. Because one of these days, they're gonna be doing an interview like this, done all of the stuff, and they're gonna say, you know what? When I think about my logical family, I think about Thon Maker. Yeah. Thon was one of the guys that said it, even though he didn't know me, he said something to me, changed my life, man. And I pivoted that day. So,
the biggest thing I would say, is this: be yourself at all times. Like, truly enjoy being yourself at all times. Now, the reason I say that is because what I've been through, there's moments where I got caught up in trying to impress this person, thinking it's gonna get me here. But if I was myself, it was gonna get me here. So there's times where I didn't play because I played a certain way, because I was told to play a certain way, whereas I should have played like myself. And let them decide whether they want to push me up here or keep me down there being myself. So be yourself at all times. I think that applies to anybody, basketball or not, anybody really. Like, just be yourself and always. Let them accept you for who you are. And if not, then they weren't worth it for you in the first place. So, just be yourself. Be in the moment, like enjoy the moment, like with your family, your friends, your close one, that logical family that you were just talking about. Yeah. Like, just be in that moment, like, because again, one of the other people I forgot to mention is this guy that he's a psychologist, but we call him a mental skills trainer, right? Mr. Lecheski, and he's out of Cleveland. And when we talk, it's always about being in the moment, right? So we do meditation just to mentally stay in the moment. Try to block out all the noise. You close your eyes, block out all the noise, and just imagine where you are sitting. And then you're just there, you're in the moment. So before each game, I look at my hands, and just for a good 10, 20 seconds during the national anthem, I'm there just right there. I'm not thinking about anything else. Be yourself. I'm there in the moment. Be yourself, be in the moment, and put that work in. You can always have fun later. After you made it, you can always have fun. But put that work in right now. That's your other goal. Forget everything else. Just have a tunnel vision. You know who you are. Be yourself at all times so you will know who you are. You have a tunnel vision of where you're going, you put it right there, and you just aim for it. You'll have fun at the end of the day. You'll have fun after you made it to wherever you're trying to go. Eventually, you'll see it and you look back and you're like, man, I made it in such a short time span. I really started playing basketball in 2010.
Wow. And look how far you
12 years later, I played 6 years in the NBA.
Wow. That's awesome, y'all. Thon, again, man, just want to thank you so much for taking time out your schedule. I know you're flying back out to the States in a couple of days. And I know it's what, 10 years since you've been back in Australia?
It's been 10 years.
Yeah, but look, don't make it so long this time, man. And when you do come back, man, would you come by and bounce?
Oh, yeah.
And we have these programs, Breakfast Club, every Saturday all around Australia. Yeah, man, because I'm gonna grab you in, I'm gonna adopt you into the family, man. Because first of all, I found a kinship in talking with you, and I feel like spiritually there's a connect there. So again, man, I wish you the best. I already know it's a done deal. Your future's so bright, that you're gonna have to wear sunglasses the rest of your life. So I just, on behalf of Bounce and Bounce TV, Like I said, want to thank you guys for viewing this again. Want to thank Lockley back there on the camera and giving helping us with this situation here. But again, want to just thank Thon again. Keep looking for him, because if you're not, don't worry about it. Even Stevie Wonder gonna be able to see him shine. So this is your boy Tracy Williams. I'm out. Peace. Man, what's up, dude?